Well, good morning to everyone. And let's begin now with our chanting and meditation. And a special welcome to all those that are joining us from Chennai. It's a joy to have you. Let's begin with a prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, Beloved Guru, Paramahansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, beloved Swamiji, we bow to again and again. Divine Mother, help us to go deep inside, meditate through us. We yearn for Thee. Pray through us. Fill us with your light, a light to share with all your children everywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Thousands of suns and moons from thy body do shine. Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Who tells me thou art dark, O my Mother divine? Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, to my heart of hearts, vanish my delusion. Shri Yogananda, guide to inner freedom, to my heart of hearts, vanish my delusion. Shri Yogananda, my steal into my heart of hearts, vanish my Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayatu Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Triambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivaranam Urvarukamiva Vandanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amritat Swaha Om Swaha Om Swaha Om Swaha. Let's begin with a prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, Beloved Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, Saints of all religions, beloved Swamiji, we humbly bow to you all. Divine Mother, bless this meditation. Inspire us. Give us the enthusiasm to seek Thee ever more wholeheartedly. We want to be your instruments. Come to us. Awaken us. Om Shanti Shanti Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai Paramahansa Yogananda Jai Guru Jai. In my temple, in my temple, all the doors do open open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Who is in my temple? Who is in my temple? All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Who is in my temple? Who is in my temple? All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forsake thee. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee. I will never forget thee. I will never forsake thee.
We'll have our affirmation. Listen to the words of Swamiji this morning from the book Affirmations for Self-Healing. This morning, the affirmation is on patience. Patience, it has been well said, is the shortest path to God. To attune the heart to the rhythms of eternity, one must first adjust himself to life's longer rhythms. He should not allow his mind to become absorbed in concentration on the little ripples on the surface of the sea. Patience means also adjusting to whatever is in life, rather than wishing it were something else. Patience is a prerequisite for every type of success. For it is when we work with things as they are that we can change them to whatever we might like them to be. And please affirm with me. I am neither the ripples at the surface of the sea, nor yet the crashing waves. I am the vast ocean deeps, unaffected by mighty surface storms, untouched by any superficial change. A little quieter. I am neither the ripples at the surface of the sea, nor yet the crashing waves. I am the vast ocean deeps, unaffected by mighty surface storms, untouched by any superficial change. You whisper, I am neither the ripples at the surface of the sea, nor yet the crashing waves. I am the vast ocean deeps, unaffected by mighty surface storms, untouched by any superficial change. Silently now at the point between the eyebrows, I am neither the ripples at the surface of the sea, nor yet the crashing waves. I am the vast ocean deeps, unaffected by mighty surface storms, untouched by any superficial change. Please pray silently with me. Long have I called thee, Lord, but thou hast not answered me. Ah, but for what long eons didst thou endure my fickleness? In this life, Lord, and if need be, through eternity, I will keep calling thee. Om Shanti.
Well, good morning to everyone, and a special welcome to all of those that are joining us in Chennai. This reading is from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahansa Yogananda, entitled, Make Me the Eagle of Progress. Make me an eagle of progress, soaring far above narrow lanes of bigotry. Call me to soar ever higher and higher, far above all clouds of earthly pettiness. With the sharp talons of my soul, I will tear at the little squabbling birds of misery which prey upon mankind. I will free my mind's skies from the buzzards of cynicism which prey on carcasses of dead hopes. I will soar on balanced wings of wholesome living, high up into the finest regions of divine perception. High above the hurricanes of earthly preoccupation, I will soar higher and higher to those unimagined heights where thou alone dost dwell. Make me thy eagle of ever upward progress. In the early 50s, this was shortly before Paramahansa Yogananda's Mahasamadhi, Divine Mother blessed him with the gift of the lake shrine, a beautiful piece of property, a natural amphitheater that was in view of the Pacific Ocean. And he called this last property that he acquired the showcase of his work. And so they were preparing for the dedication, and Swami and the other monks were there. And truly, it's a beautiful piece of property. And so as they were working away, planting trees and all of these necessary things to continue to beautify the property, there were all these gnats. And Swami finally, they were brushing these little flies, out of their eyes and so forth. And they were just truly a nuisance. And so Swami went to Master at one point and said, Master, please, why do we have these gnats here in this beautiful setting? And Master said sweetly, well, this is God's way to help us, to inspire us to ever move toward Him. And so there it is with life. It's all conflict and resolution. Swami, from time to time, would share that if we were reading a novel and it was about this man who uh, basically, with ease, came into a particular job, worked his way up the ladder, married the boss's wife, had a lovely home and friends and so forth, then I'm not so sure that we would even finish the novel, not to mention be inspired by it. But then Swamiji added that if this man born in poverty was to, finally at one point get the necessary education, get himself a job, began working there in doing just the basic things that were needed, bit by bit, with great struggle and determination. He worked his way on up to the top. There he was then the president, married the boss's daughter. Then people would say, of course, because it was so reflective of what we have in our own lives, this struggle. Then there would be this satisfaction that this was a story that was well written, and we are very happy that we spent the time going through this extraordinary experience with this rags to riches story. And so for us, it's very important that we understand that this nuisance, whether it be gnats, of course, on a colossal level, this pandemic, everything in between, is given to us by a loving hand. And we must not forget that. Everything that comes, whether they're thoughts that create some turbulence in our minds, worry, whatever it might be, whether we find that there's a bit of a typhoon in our hearts because we're going through a lot of challenges, whatever it might be, we can't lose sight that this is given to us by Divine Mother. Divine Mother is perfect. She doesn't make any errors. She knows exactly where we are and what we need to grow spiritually. And so with that, we find magically that we begin to relax and to be like Tralanka Swami's comment of Lahiri Mahashaya, that he was like a little kitten. And wherever Divine Mother put him, then he was content. Remember, Lahiri Mahashaya, when he met Babaji, he did not want to leave his presence. And yet Babaji said, no, your dharma is to go back to the cities and be an inspiration for others as an ideal householder. And so he did. He did his dharma. He did his dharma with joy. And what a great example that he is, as is true of all the great saints. They do their dharma. Even Jesus Christ, in the most extreme example that perhaps one can think of, he knew that though he was only trying to inspire and to help uplift, he knew, as all great saints know the past, the future, that he would be crucified. But what did Master say? And it's really quite astonishing. He said Christ didn't really mind the crucifixion that much. What did he say? Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. This is the consciousness of the great ones, unconditional love. And though they are given many challenges when they come to this earth, as they often do, especially as avatars that have the power to really uplift millions, still, just as Yogananda twice, he was nearly assassinated by people that really were unable to take that enormously powerful light. They just couldn't take it. And so they wanted to shut it out of their lives. And yet it wasn't Yogananda's destiny to be assassinated. And he knew again, he knew everything about his life. He knew every nuance. And also, he knew every nuance of the lives of all his disciples and of all of us. That's the extraordinary thing about these great saints. They're not bound by the delusion of time and space. They are free to do whatever they feel to do their dharma. When Yogananda left this world, he hinted that this was his time, that he had finished his work. And the disciples around him were, so concerned because they knew that really it might even be a matter of days that he would be leaving this world. And yet he was able to console them and comfort them in so many ways, telling them that he would always be with them. And to some, he even materialized, as Sri Yukteswar did there in Mumbai in the mid-30s to Yogananda, because for whatever reason, these wonderful and refined souls had drawn this blessing. And they then were able to tell others, perhaps, that the Master had appeared. And these great souls, they come again and again to this world when there is an incredible need. And so it's no coincidence that not only did Yogananda come at this time, but all the gurus. And this line of gurus is very unique. You don't see this very often historically, where one guru after another, all linked together in spirit, come to do what they can to go into people's hearts, expand their hearts, fill them with love. But it's not easy for them. Even Babaji, he wanted to leave at one point, and his sister, a highly advanced soul, caught that thought. And there was that incredible meeting there in the autobiography of a yogi, as we read, that Lahiri Mahashaya and Ram Gopal, Babaji, that with Mataji, Babaji's sister. And Mataji said, please, I perceive that you want to leave this world. Why? Why leave? And he said, what does it matter whether I'm in this body or I'm merged into the light, into the cosmos? And so she, with a quick wit, said, well, if it doesn't matter, then why don't you stay? And he said, be it so. And I will stay for this cycle. In other words, basically for, you might even say an infinite period of time, although perhaps not quite that. But because of his love for mankind, we find him here in Mother India, in Holy India, in the Himalayas. He's here now, blessing us. And these great ones, they know of the inconveniences that we experience. They know of the trials. They know of everything. And yet, because they are awakened from this dream, they're not, as Swamiji has described so many, as sleeping gods, including ourselves, gods, but sleeping gods. They know that we need really day to day, moment to moment encouragement. And that's why spiritual family is so vital, because if we were on our own, we would do fine. We've come to the point in our spiritual evolution where we are refined and we have truly a measure of wakefulness, or we wouldn't have attracted a path such as this. But at the same time, the benefit of being together in community, in whatever form, it might be a meditation group, fabulous, with just a few people. It might be a community. It might be any number of different situations, but we reflect in the Bible these great words of Christ, and so true, where just two are gathered, there I am in the midst of them. When we come together in satsang, then we really become a force, a tremendous force for good. And we're able together collectively as children of God to send light into this world, especially at this time. And I was so heartened by what Swami said, that the reason that we can do community in these various forms, even during the pandemic, we're doing community as we are today in the Sunday satsang. It's because in the astral world, we had this experience of community. And so it's not difficult for us to recognize the importance of being together in God. And so we have these wonderful experiences with, again, one or two people, the meditation groups, centers, whatever it might be. And we find again and again and again, as I like to say, we heal each other at a glance. Just looking in the eyes of another devotee, we may find magically, miraculously, that some trial that we have been undergoing, where we feel that we're just being pushed down by the weight of our karma, and we meet, it may even just be over a Zoom call or a telephone call or a chance meeting there on the streets, whatever it might be during this wild and challenging time. And all of a sudden, that darkness is dispelled as if it never plagued us. And so whether it's the nuisance of gnats or ants or howling dogs or whatever it might be, we have to keep in mind, again, that God is a director and playing all parts, that God is never, and the gurus are never absent for a moment from any of the experiences that we have. And so it's a good thing that, for instance, if the dogs are barking and it's 3 a.m, then we, with humor, we can say, Divine Mother, what are you doing now? I'm trying to get some rest. I have a big day in the morning, but it's her. We don't want to make any mistake of that. It's her barking through the dogs. It's her smiling through our children and our relatives and friends. It's always her. And it makes it so much easier. We're able to relax into a state of contentment because we feel that even in times such as these, that God is in charge. As I enjoy sharing when Dr. Louis Yogananda's first disciple there in America in 1920, when he came upon Master, in the beginning he resisted him because his relatives had told him that he mustn't be fooled by these swamis and yogis. And so he, being a conservative Bostonian dentist, he wanted to heed their counsel. And yet Yogananda's magnetism was so strong that in a very short time, he became a disciple. And Master asked him for his unconditional love. And Dr. Lewis gave it to him. And then Master said, will you give me your unconditional obedience? That was a little bit more difficult. And yet Dr. Lewis said yes, because he trusted Yogananda to the very core of his being. There he saw before him without any mistake that this was truly a godlike being, and that this godlike being, Yogananda, would have the power to take him to God, to awaken him from this dream. And so when Dr. Lewis said that, yes, I give you my unconditional obedience, then Yogananda rubbed his hands together joyfully. He said, good, I take charge of your life. And so whether we have a guru or not, to have an inner life, knowing again that God is the guru, then what can we do? It takes humility, it takes patience, it takes many spiritual qualities. What can we do to let go and let God so that more and more we understand, as Swamiji for years, up until the very last years of his life, would always say, God is the doer. And though a man of great accomplishments, as I like to say, in future, perhaps in 100 years, they'll think, this was not one man that accomplished all these things. This was a dozen men. No man could have done all of this. But Swami simply said, it was because he didn't do anything. God was the doer. And so more and more we're able, even in extreme situations, to rest as little children, being a kitten like Lahiri Mahashaya. We're able to simply appreciate that really it's all about the reverence of life. To count our blessings, as Gyayamata said, Yogananda's most advanced woman disciple, count our blessings and skip the rest. And so we find that through meditation, through Kriya, for those that are Kriyavans, through our Seva, through extending ourselves in so many ways, we find that really we're beginning to feel that joy. And when that joy comes, then more and more it matters not what God throws at us, what our karma throws at us, what challenges come into our lives, and we're able to appreciate that. Okay, fine. Let me have the attitude of the yogi. What comes of itself, let it come. I remember Swami Ramdas, if you ever have a chance to read his book, The South Indian Saint from Bangalore. There was one particular time, and he felt that everything was God. Ram is what he called God. Ram was doing everything. And so one time in a train station, he was being roughed up by this fellow. And what did he do? He completely relaxed, although he was, being beaten by this fellow. Incredible to imagine. Because who was it? It was Ram. It was Ram himself that was doing this. And so it only added to his joy when Swami met Swami Ramdas, because Swami Ramdas was taking a world tour. And there he was at Mount Washington, and Swami Kriyananda was his host. And over a luncheon, he asked Swami Ramdas, although he could see from his face that this was no ordinary being. This was an extraordinary soul. And so he said to Swami Ramdas, he said, are you enjoying yourself? And he said, actually, he said, how are you doing? That was Swami's words. And Ramdas's very sweet response was, swimmingly, swimming in bliss. That's our destiny. And as we're able to trust, creating that bridge of trust, to reach out to Divine Mother, feeling that, again, she makes no mistakes in our lives. Everything is done with the pure motive to help us. That's what a mother does, an earthly mother, even though sometimes she has to discipline her children. Yogananda said he would wilt when he had to discipline people, because all he wanted to do was share with love. He said, I choose to teach through a glance of the eyes. That's the way he wanted to do it. But there were times that he couldn't do it because people needed a strong reprimand. But it wasn't where his heart was at, because he saw everyone as children of God. He saw everyone really already having achieved their goal, because as children of God, we are already there. Right now, we're just dreaming. And soon, hopefully soon, this life, we'll awaken from this dream. And as we grow spiritually, it's so very, very important that we reach out to others in any way that we can, through prayer, through so many means. Because as we're growing spiritually, the fruit of this inner growth is joy. And out of this joy springs naturally compassion. And as this compassion grows and expands in our lives, we begin to feel for one another as we would feel for ourselves. And so even though at times we find ourselves being mistreated, by our own karma, we think, and by others, we can't go there. We just have to say, well, my mother, you know what you're doing. I just need to stay in myself. I need to stay in my inner self, my spine. Live more in the spine, as Yogananda recommended. Come down every once in a while to talk, and so on, and then back in the self. And as we live more in ourselves, we find that is the portable paradise. That is where joy is. And as the joy continues to grow, it will, and it is. Even now, we find all we want to do. As Swamiji said, for the end of his life, all he wanted to do was to share his bliss. Could it be more simple? And as we share this bliss, this joy, we find we're doing the greatest good that we can in this world. Because this bliss is the wake-up call for all of us to return back into the light where we've all come from. So again, it truly is our joy to be with all of you. This is certainly one of the benefits of this particular time, that we can all come together, even from Chennai. Here we are, enjoying one another's company. What a treat this is. So we'll now continue on with our satsang. We'll do our arati now. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Before we end our satsang with a blessing for everyone, we are going to do an astral ascension ceremony. And this is for Rafi Vadakan. He's 58. He's a friend of Minnie Agarwal. And Surabash, 42. He's a friend of Sudha Singh's. And these souls were on our healing prayer list for a very long time. They were in the hospital, and we followed them through their journey of illness, and now they're in the astral world. So we'd like to just take a short uh, time to honor them and to help them on their journey. Dear friends, you who have gone before us have entered a realm which our souls remember, a place of freedom, light, and laughter. Take with you on your journey our blessings and our love. We shall miss you. Our desire is not to hold you back, but only to tell you, friend, we are yours. Our love and support are ever yours, and our prayers for your highest happiness. We shall meet again. Once more we shall laugh together, rejoice together, and share in the joy of seeking Him. Claim your soul's freedom. Bless all who ever harmed you or ever wished you harm. Give them your love and your prayer for their freedom in God. Friends, cast from your heart all outward attachments. Realize that earthly goals, however shining, are but dreams. God is the only reality. Burn your earthly desires in the fire of wisdom. Burn earthly limitations in the blaze of inner freedom. Burn earthly disappointments in the flames of spreading peace. Burn earthly joys in the bonfire of divine bliss. See your physical form as a discarded garment. Clothed you are now in garments of radiant light. O free soul, see your past actions as scenes in a vast unfolding tapestry. Feast not your gaze wistfully on episodes already finished, but look ahead. New adventures await you, fresh, joyous victories as you advance toward perfect freedom. And what of us, friends, who love you and would be remembered by you? Behold us as threads of light in the tapestry of your life, threads which through the magnet of soul friendship will appear ever and again, woven with increasing beauty as our hearts expand together in God's love. Divine Mother, receive these children. Purify them in thy perfect light and love. Grant them eternal freedom in thee. Peace.
From thy cosmic life and I are one. Thou art the ocean, and I am the wave. We are one. Thou art the flame, and I am the spark. We are one. Thou art the flower, and I am the fragrance. We are one. Thou art the Father, and I am thy child. We are one. Thou art the beloved, and I am the lover. We are one. Thou art the lover, and I am the beloved. We are one. Thou art the song, and I am the music. We are one. Thou art the spirit, and I am all nature. We are one. Thou art my friend, I am thy friend. We are one. Thou art the master, and I am thy servant. We are one. Thou art my mother, I am thy son. We are one. Thou art my master, I am thy disciple. We are one. Thou art the ocean, and I am the drop. We are one. Thou art all laughter, I am a smile. We are one. Thou art the light, and I am the atom. We are one. Thou art consciousness, I am the thought. We are one. Thou art eternal power, and I am strength. We are one. Thy peace and I are one. Thy joy and I are one. Thy wisdom and I are one. Thy love and I are one. That is why thou and I are one. Thou and I were one, and thou and I will be one evermore.
Surround these two souls in light. Their friends, their families, their loved ones. Fill them with God's light, His love, His devotion. Feel Divine Mother welcoming them into the astral world. And let them feel our support and love. in our divine friendship on their journey to freedom, which they will surely reach very soon. Feel the Guru's blessing them and filling all of their hearts, all of the families, all of the souls who love them, and all of us in that light. Let's rub our hands together. And send out 3 ums. Oh. Now we'd like to close our satsang today with an affirmation that we've created. This affirmation, for those of you who don't know and who are from Chennai, we have a new project here in Bangalore where we are actively searching for land for a new community. And since last Sunday, we've announced that this is our goal in the coming days and weeks and months and years. So please surround this project and this seva in Divine Mother's love, because we have meditated a very long time on this and talked to many of our spiritual guides, and they and we believe that this is the next step for Bangalore. And we really would like everyone's support, everyone's love, everyone's anything you can do to further this vision of masters and Swamijis in Bangalore during this time. So we have created an affirmation, and we would like to say it. And when we say this affirmation, don't just say the words, really feel it in your heart and see the land in your mind, see Master and all the Gurus blessing the land, blessing all the souls who come to the land, and see us all holding hands together in our search for freedom, in our search for God in this lifetime. Just taking steps, one by one foot in front of the other, being guided by Master so that we can make a reality into this material world, a spiritual gem of and blessing of our masters. So let's close our eyes and affirm after me. Divine Mother, we are your loving children. We yearn to serve you. Guide our attunement to thee. Guide our search for land. Guide us in building our spiritual community in Bangalore, according to thy will alone. Now with more concentration. Divine Mother, we are your loving children. We yearn to serve thee. Guide our attunement to thee. Guide our search for land. Guide us in building our spiritual community in Bangalore, according to thy will alone. A little more quietly. Divine Mother, we are your loving children. We yearn to serve thee. Guide our attunement to thee. Guide our search for land. Guide us in building our spiritual community in Bangalore, according to thy will alone. And now in a whisper, Divine Mother, we are your loving children. We yearn to serve thee. Guide our attunement to thee. Guide our search for land. Guide us in building our spiritual community in Bangalore, according to thy will alone. Now silently, with deep concentration and self-offering at the point between the eyebrows. Divine Mother, we are your loving children. We yearn to serve thee. Guide our attunement to thee. Guide our search for land. Guide us in building our spiritual community in Bangalore, according to thy will alone. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Amen. Now let's close with a prayer. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, Lord Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswar, our beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda, and beloved friend Swamiji, saints of all religions, we humbly bow at thy feet. Divine Mother, great masters of Kriya Yoga, use us as your channels to spread light and love, peace and joy, harmony and compassion into this world. We are your children. We yearn to know you. We yearn to serve you. We yearn to love you. Receive us on your lap in this very lifetime. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Amen. Go out with joy. I guess that gallery's already there. I didn't want to get too close. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
So turn on your video so we can see you. Okay. There we go. Now we're talking. Excellent. Excellent.
We don't know who's from Chennai or who's from Bangalore. We're all one.
Yes. As Master said, world citizens.
World citizens.
That's right. That's what it's about.
Spiritual family. Nice to see everybody.
Absolutely.
So, anybody want to say, oh, I guess I have an announcement. Do I have an announcement? Just for the affirmation, the search for land. If you do have any thoughts at all, any leads, any direction at all, call Haridas, Anjali, Somni, Bindu, or Anand, and we'll get right on it. So just keep your eyes and ears and hearts open for anything that you see that might be have Master's blessing and footprint. You can do it from Chennai too. We'll be very grateful.
Well, that's the amazing thing about Ananda, is that whatever it might be, perhaps a center opens up a bookstore, and it's somewhere, in Europe. There's that joy, because you know that Master is behind every effort, whatever it might be, deepening meditation, anything that we can help to bring into the physical plane. And so anyway, yes, we love your prayers in this adventure that we're having here in Bangalore. And we send you all our prayers as well.
I was thinking about the discipleship vow that we all take, and that line that is so beautiful. It says, I will join my energies with those of my Guru Bhais, my spiritual family on earth. And so that is a blessing that we have at Ananda, is spiritual family. It keeps us all in tune. It keeps us on the right path. It keeps our hearts open, deepens our spiritual friendships, makes our load lighter in this world. And so let's align our energies, all of us. Just love one another. You know, that's what Christ's teaching was. Love one another as you want to be loved yourself. And in that love, anything can happen. Master can work through us. No judgment, no criticism, no, I want it my way, I want it this way or that. None of that. We just need to love God and love one another. And that's the magnet that will truly change this world. That's the magnet. So it's wonderful to see everybody. And somebody asked us yesterday at our Kriyaban retreat, when can we come to the center? And so we're thinking as soon as a month is up, you know, when the government says we can, we're ready. We are so ready. And maybe we'll get on a train, we'll be so ready, and we'll come down to Chennai and see all of you.
Oh, that would be a celebration for us. We haven't been there for a long time, way too long.
Or you get on a train and come up and see us.
That's right. Absolutely. Having the retreats that we've had with all of us together in Pan India, it's just so much fun.
But it's more fun together on the train. It's more fun if you show up at the center.
So if anybody wants to unmute, I have allowed you to unmute.
Thank you, Haridasji, Romaji.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful to see both of you after a long time.
Yes.
Thank
been
you
a
so
long
much.
Well,
Thank you so much.
absolutely.
Beautiful satsang. Thank you.
Thank you, Romaji and Haridasji.
Our joy.
Thank you, Ji. Nice to see you. And waiting to come to the school of ancient wisdom. What good times we used to have.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah. And so waiting to see you in person. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice.
It's nice to see Harish's background. He must have stayed up all night getting those flowers just perfectly. And it's really beautiful every time I see it.
So much, Haridas ji and Roma ji. Thank you so much. I have to tell you that you both radiate so much of joy. Thank you for that.
This is the joy we all share together. What an amazing lifetime to be with Master Spiritual Family. It's just nothing you take for granted, that's for sure.
This is the thing that we can't forget when we're at our computers doing our corporate jobs or raising the kids or cleaning the house or doing whatever. It's just always that presence of Divine Mother in our hearts, never far. It's like Haridas was saying. When is she gone? She's never gone. We're gone. And all we have to do is think about her and we're right back. It's a miracle, really, how easy it all is. We just have to remember.
Thank you so much, Romaji. Thank you so much, Haridasji. It was a wonderful satsang. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed. Thank you.
Well, our hearts are with all of you in Chennai. We think of all of you very often. And so, anyway, School of Ancient Wisdom, if that's indeed the next place that we get together, or in Chennai or here in Bangalore, it's going to be really a homecoming.
Or our new land.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was a wonderful affirmation what you created. That's so nice to hear that one. Certainly our prayers for you to get a new land as quick as possible with the Master's grace. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Well, the first thing we're going to build on our land is a retreat and shrines so that people can come and stay and we can share in the joy of God together. So keep it in your prayers.
That sounds so great. We can't wait.
Yes. It may be that you need to bring your own tent, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Humble beginnings, that's Ananda.
That's what we all had to do.
I slept on a picnic table there at the seclusion retreat, our original property, for 3 weeks. Why? Because there were no tents available. And there you have it. So hopefully we'll have a tent. That would be at least a good start.
We backpacked to Ananda, Bangalore.
Yeah, yeah. It's so nice to see you on Zoom for now, and it's just such a strange time, as you were saying. I was reading the calmness affirmation earlier this week. Though the winds of difficulties howl around me, I stand forever calm at the center of life's storms. And I thought it's a little too literal for me right now. But with this family, it's just everything is possible. The joy continues, so it's such a blessing. Thank you so much.
So many people don't know what to do with yogis and yoginis, especially during these times of trial, because we just continue to be happy, and they think, "Oh my God, how is that possible?" But again, it's a joy and a happiness that springs out of compassion, because we want everyone to be happy. That's of course a given. So we need to spend time with one another, because a lot of people don't understand us. The well-meaning friends and relatives, they kind of scratch their head, what are these people? But anyway, we recognize the God in one another and in everyone. That's the blessing of this path.
Okay.
We're looking forward to living in those tents, in your new place.
You're always welcome.
That, yeah.
The more, the merrier.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah. Really praying for the new place. Yeah, so
Thank you.
new
Please
land.
do keep it in your prayers.
That's everything. That's everything.
And for those of you who would like, the affirmation is being printed on the newsletter, and we'll send it out somehow. I have to talk to Harish about it, but we should say it after our sadhanas in the morning and at night, and just throughout the day whenever we think of it, just to keep it in our minds and keep it in the light. Keep that land, keep Master's vision in our consciousness. Okay, everybody.
Everyone, give our love to Chennai, to Dharmaraj and Dharmini, to all of our friends there, and we will see you soon.
God bless you all. Everybody from Bangalore, too.
Yes.
And
right.
Thank you, Harish, for helping today.
Absolutely. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.